The internet serves as a valuable resource for information, but one must exercise caution and critical thinking when utilizing it. It is vital to recognize that not all content found online is accurate or trustworthy. Conducting independent research and cross-referencing information with multiple reliable sources are crucial steps to ensure the validity of the data. The internet has revolutionized access to information, significantly simplifying the process compared to traditional methods. In the past, individuals primarily relied on books, libraries, and other conventional sources for knowledge acquisition. Now, the internet enables users to access information from diverse global locations with remarkable ease. This ease of access democratizes information, making it more readily available to a wider audience. The internet fosters connectivity and information sharing among individuals. Traditional communication methods, such as face-to-face interactions and mail, have been augmented by internet-based tools that allow real-time communication across geographical boundaries. This connectivity facilitates collaboration and knowledge exchange on a global scale. Considering these advantages, the internet offers considerable value as a resource for information and interpersonal connection. However, it remains essential to maintain a critical perspective and to validate information obtained online through diligent verification processes. This verification might include consulting established industry standards, referencing reputable publications, and seeking expert opinions. The ability to critically evaluate information found on the internet is a crucial skill for electricians. Electrical work demands precision and adherence to safety standards, and inaccurate information can have serious consequences. Electricians must be able to distinguish between reliable sources and unreliable ones, and they must be willing to double-check information before applying it in their work. There are several ways that electricians can ensure that they are using reliable information from the internet. Firstly, they should look for sources that are affiliated with reputable organizations such as professional associations, government agencies, or educational institutions. These organizations typically have a vested interest in providing accurate information. Secondly, electricians should be wary of information that is presented in a biased or sensationalized way. Reliable sources typically present information in a neutral and objective manner. Thirdly, electricians should always verify information with multiple sources before applying it in their work. By following these steps, electricians can ensure that they are using the internet to their advantage while also protecting themselves from the risks of inaccurate information. Specific examples of reliable online resources for electricians include the National Electrical Code, which is the standard for safe electrical installation in the United States. The NEC is updated every 3 years, so it is important to use the most current version. Another reliable source is the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, which provides information on workplace safety, including electrical safety. OSHA also publishes regulations that electricians must follow. Professional organizations such as the Independent Electrical Contractors and the National Electrical Contractors Association offer resources and training for electricians. These organizations also advocate for the interests of electricians in the legislative and regulatory arenas. Educational institutions such as universities and community colleges often offer online courses in electrical technology. These courses can provide electricians with a more in-depth understanding of electrical theory and practice. It is important to remember that the internet is a constantly evolving landscape and new resources are constantly emerging. Electricians should stay up to date on the latest resources by subscribing to industry newsletters, attending conferences, and networking with other electricians. The internet offers a wealth of information for electricians, but it is important to use it wisely. By being critical of the information they find and by verifying it with other sources, electricians can ensure that they are using the internet to their advantage. For instance, when consulting online forums or discussion boards, always consider the expertise level of the contributors. Look for individuals with verifiable credentials and a proven track record in the electrical field. Be wary of advice from anonymous sources or individuals who lack the necessary qualifications. When researching specific electrical products or equipment, refer to the manufacturer's specifications and technical documentation. These documents typically provide detailed information about the product's capabilities, limitations, and safety requirements. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions when installing, operating, or maintaining electrical equipment. When searching for information on electrical codes and regulations, prioritize official sources such as the NEC, state and local building codes, and regulatory agency publications. These sources provide the most accurate and up-to-date information on the legal requirements for electrical work. When using online calculators or software tools for electrical calculations, verify the accuracy of the results by comparing them to manual calculations or consulting with a qualified engineer. Be aware that online tools may have limitations or errors, and it is important to understand the underlying principles behind the calculations. When viewing online videos or tutorials on electrical topics, pay attention to the presenter's credentials and experience. Look for videos that are produced by reputable organizations or individuals with a strong background in electrical engineering or electrical trades. Be critical of videos that promote unsafe practices or provide inaccurate information. When participating in online discussions or forums, be respectful of other users and avoid engaging in personal attacks or spreading misinformation. Remember that the internet is a public forum, and your comments may be viewed by a wide audience. By following these guidelines, electricians can navigate the internet safely and effectively, and they can use online resources to enhance their knowledge, skills, and professional development. It's also crucial to remember that the internet should not be the sole source of knowledge. Hands-on experience, mentorship from experienced electricians, and formal training programs are all essential components of a well-rounded electrical education. The internet should be used to supplement these traditional learning methods, not to replace them. It's also worth noting that the electrical industry is constantly evolving, with new technologies and techniques emerging all the time. Electricians must stay up to date on these changes in order to remain competitive and provide the best possible service to their customers. The internet can be a valuable tool for staying current on industry trends, but it's important to filter the information carefully and focus on reliable sources. Consider subscribing to industry publications, attending webinars and conferences, and participating in online forums to stay informed about the latest developments in the electrical field. One important aspect of using the internet for electrical work is understanding the limitations of online resources. The internet can provide general information and guidance, but it cannot replace the expertise of a qualified electrician. Every electrical project is unique, and it's important to consult with a professional before starting any work. A qualified electrician can assess the specific requirements of the project, identify potential hazards, and ensure that the work is done safely and in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. Attempting to perform electrical work without the proper training and experience can be dangerous and can lead to serious injury or even death. It's also important to be aware of the legal implications of performing electrical work without a license or permit. In many jurisdictions, it is illegal to perform electrical work without the proper credentials, and doing so can result in fines, penalties, and even criminal charges. Therefore, it's essential to ensure that you are properly licensed and permitted before undertaking any electrical project. In addition to technical knowledge, electricians also need to possess strong problem-solving skills. Electrical systems can be complex and can present a variety of challenges. Electricians must be able to diagnose problems, identify the root cause, and develop effective solutions. The internet can be a valuable tool for troubleshooting electrical problems, but it's important to approach online resources with a critical eye. Be wary of advice from unqualified individuals, and always verify information with multiple sources before implementing a solution. It's also important to remember that safety should always be the top priority when working with electricity. Electricians must follow all safety precautions and use appropriate personal protective equipment to prevent injuries. The internet can provide information on electrical safety, but it's important to supplement online resources with hands-on training and practical experience. In conclusion, the internet offers a wealth of information and resources for electricians. However, it's important to use the internet wisely and to be critical of the information you find. By verifying information with multiple sources, consulting with qualified professionals, and prioritizing safety, electricians can harness the power of the internet to enhance their knowledge, skills, and professional development. One should always prioritize safety and adherence to established codes and regulations. A scenario may involve researching the proper wiring methods for a specific type of lighting fixture. While the internet can provide general information on wiring techniques, it's crucial to consult the manufacturer's instructions and the NEC for specific requirements. The NEC provides detailed guidance on conductor sizing, overcurrent protection, grounding, and other aspects of electrical installations. The electricians must be familiar with the NEC and other applicable codes in order to ensure that their work meets safety standards. Another situation might involve troubleshooting a malfunctioning electrical circuit. The internet can offer helpful tips and diagrams for diagnosing electrical problems. However, it's important to use caution when working with live circuits and to follow proper lockout/tagout procedures to prevent accidental electrocution. Electricians should also use appropriate test equipment, such as multimeters and voltage testers, to verify the presence of voltage and current before working on any electrical circuit. The internet can also be used to research new electrical technologies and products. For example, an electrician might be interested in learning about the latest advancements in solar power systems or electric vehicle charging stations. The internet can provide access to technical specifications, product reviews, and installation guides. However, it's important to carefully evaluate the information and to choose products that are reliable, safe, and compliant with industry standards. When using the internet for continuing education, electricians should look for courses and programs that are accredited by a reputable organization. Accredited courses are typically taught by qualified instructors and cover relevant topics in the electrical field. Completing continuing education courses can help electricians stay up to date on the latest technologies and best practices, and it can also help them maintain their professional licenses and certifications. It's also important for electricians to be aware of the ethical considerations involved in using the internet. The electrician should not use the internet to spread misinformation, engage in unethical business practices, or violate the privacy of others. Electricians should also be mindful of copyright laws and should not download or distribute copyrighted materials without permission. By following these ethical guidelines, electricians can use the internet in a responsible and professional manner. In summary, the internet is a powerful tool that can benefit electricians in many ways. However, it's important to use the internet with caution and to be aware of the potential risks and limitations. By following the guidelines outlined above, electricians can harness the power of the internet to enhance their knowledge, skills, and professional development. Remember to treat the internet as a supplement to, not a replacement for, traditional training and experience. Always prioritize safety and adhere to established codes and regulations, and never hesitate to consult with qualified professionals when needed. By adopting a balanced and responsible approach to using the internet, electricians can thrive in today's rapidly evolving technological landscape. Let's consider the scenario of an electrician needing to determine the appropriate size conductor for a specific electrical circuit. The internet provides access to numerous online calculators and tables that can assist with this task. However, it's crucial to understand the underlying principles and assumptions behind these tools. The NEC specifies the allowable ampacity of conductors based on factors such as conductor type, insulation temperature rating, and ambient temperature. Electricians must use the appropriate NEC tables and formulas to determine the correct conductor size for the intended application. The online calculators can be helpful for simplifying the calculations, but it's essential to verify the results and ensure that all relevant factors are taken into account. Another common task for electricians is to troubleshoot electrical problems. The internet offers a wealth of information on troubleshooting techniques and common electrical faults. However, it's important to approach this information with a critical eye and to avoid making assumptions. The electrician should use a systematic approach to troubleshooting, starting with a thorough visual inspection and then using test equipment to measure voltage, current, and resistance. The internet can be a valuable resource for identifying potential causes of the problem, but it's important to verify the findings with actual measurements and observations. In addition to technical information, the internet also provides access to product reviews and ratings. Electricians can use this information to research different brands and models of electrical equipment before making a purchase. However, it's important to consider the source of the reviews and to avoid relying solely on online opinions. Electricians should also consult with other professionals and consider their own personal experiences when making purchasing decisions. When using the internet for professional development, electricians should look for courses and programs that are relevant to their specific needs and interests. There are many online courses available on topics such as electrical safety, renewable energy, and industrial automation. Electricians should choose courses that are taught by qualified instructors and that provide a certificate of completion. Completing these courses can help electricians enhance their skills and knowledge and advance their careers. In conclusion, the internet is a valuable tool for electricians, but it's important to use it responsibly and to be aware of its limitations. By verifying information with multiple sources, consulting with qualified professionals, and prioritizing safety, electricians can harness the power of the internet to enhance their knowledge, skills, and professional development. Remember to treat the internet as a supplement to, not a replacement for, traditional training and experience.